Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, or good evening if you're listening on replay. I saw when I've never noticed this before. I'm not really paying attention, but I noticed it says, make sure to greet your viewers. Can't remember if it says on replay. I don't know. So good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is. If you're watching on replay, good morning to the live viewers. Good morning, chat. It's a block party. We're going to have discussion on the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. It's talking about blocks. Some people are a little quick on the trigger on the block. Some people just, I don't block anybody. And then I'm kind of in the middle. So I want to talk about my strategy and why I'm not a fan of sharing those block lists, because everybody's different. But I did add a user to the block list just yesterday, so I can share that story as well. I don't have much to talk. I say that every day. I don't have much to talk about. We go an hour and a half. I don't have much to talk about. It's like my wife comes home from work and she's like, "So what's up?" Not much. How was your day? It's good. I shipped and I listed. I listed and I shipped. And I took Biscuit for a walk. We met Rosie. It's the extent of my day. It's like nothing exciting happens. But it's unseasonably warm. Still, November 15th, I think it's going to be 60 degrees. It's starting to concern me if we keep getting these 60-degree days. Is my grass going to keep growing? Because we haven't really had. Yeah, I guess we've had a couple hard freezes. Yeah, it's going to be 61 today, 61 tomorrow, 54 on Friday, and it's going to stay in the upper 40s, low 50s through the weekend. And it looks like it's going to be seasonable. Seasonable? It's going to be seasonable next week. But hey, I used to be anti. What do you call like late winters? I don't know, or late summers. I used to be against it. It's like, this is just a tease. Just let it get cold. Now I'm like, no, give me because every comfortable day in November brings us that much closer to spring. So it's like, if you want to throw a 70-degree day, Mother Nature, if you want to throw a 70-degree day in December, January, by all means, please do. But for some reason, when I was younger, I didn't. It's like, oh, this is just a tease because it's going to be cold tomorrow. And I think that's the ultimate in not living in the now. Looking ahead, looking behind. Well, Scott, it was so warm yesterday. It's cold today. It was so warm yesterday. Or, oh, it's so nice today, but it's going to suck tomorrow. We're always thinking ahead, thinking behind. Let's just live in the now. I'm living in the now. Beautiful day. Biscuit gets a walk. And we're all happy. What the hell's going on down there? Good morning. So what's going on in the chat? We've got Harlan in the house. What's up, Harlan? I didn't even have anything to eat last night for dinner. I ate dinner, but what the hell did I eat? I think I had Hot Pockets. So I don't even have anything exciting to report about dinner. What did you have for dinner last night? Hot Pockets. What did you have for lunch yesterday? Probably a frozen bowl. Greek chicken. Healthy choice or whatever. Steel Cards in the house. What's up? Good morning. It is trash day. David, what's up? Good morning. It is trash day and recycle. Bins are at the curb. And I've still got a bunch of stuff that I need to. It's like, do I take it up now and just like pile it on top, or do I just wait? I've got a couple bags. I've got the little, I don't have it, and I don't ship it here, but the little, like, from the envelope labels. I'm a peel and stick or whatever those are, envelopes. And the label, the little things from the label printer. I'm like filling a trash bag like every 2 days with that crap. So I'm always filling the bags. Set Cards in the house. What's up? Good morning. Shane's in the house. Good morning. Set Cards ripped some NPB last night. Such a fun rip. I agree. It's very colorful. The most recent, did I rip a box? I think I ripped a box last night. I did rip a box last night. I think I'm into 4. I think I've ripped 4 boxes. I would say it's not a fast seller. It's trickling, which is to be expected. It's November. It's an old product. But I have moved. I think I've sold about 5 cards now. I think I was at 2 yesterday, and I accepted an offer right after the show, and I think I sold 2 more. But I think the most expensive one was like $4. Let's see, selling, sold. So, and I think it's the same player that I sold. It's like, maybe I underpriced these. Munitaka Murakami, I sold a base card. Yuki Matsui base card. Yurisbel Graciel base card. And a Hiromi Ito purple refractor. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. And there's an offer that I need to accept. Who's from one of the same buyers. So I think that's 3 buyers bought 5 cards. So kind of a trickle, but I think especially when Yamamoto, when he signs, I think those cards will sell. That's kind of why I want to get through them, but it's like a slow burn because I'm not I want to rip them and list them kind of at the same time. So I'm not all of a sudden burdened with a huge stack of NPB. And it's like, I don't want to list all these. So if I kind of gradually rip a box, list a box, which I can do. I wanted to do that with what product? Topps Pro Debut. Ordered the case, and it's like I'm going to rip a box, list a box, rip a box, list a box. And it's like I'm going to have, I think it ended up being 5 cards per. But why waste those? As I get closer and closer to 60,000, why waste those listings on base cards when I can just get them sorted? It'll take me a little bit longer, but I'm saving 500 listings. 5 quantity listings. And no low roller scratcher. I'm not doing variation listings. I think variation listings suck. We've gone through it a million times. No, I'm not doing that. So, and you're like, well, why don't you do that with NPB? And I probably should. Instead of ripping a box and listing a box, I probably should just get them all sorted, because these are a much slower sell than, Pro Debut is kind of a slow sell on the base. Even now, even at release, I wasn't listing much. Speaking of release, I still haven't found Topps Archives, which is bumming me out, because now it's if I would have found it on release day or shortly thereafter, within a couple days, I would have bought 5, 6 blasters, because I know it would sell. Commons are still going to move. But as we get further away from the release date, it's going to be a slower move, especially now that we're in the off season. So I'm still, because I love the product, I'm still going to open some, but instead of 5 or 6, it's probably going to be 2 or 3. So, and now it's just more entertainment purposes, because it's a product I like. I like opening it. Still haven't seen any Topps Archives. I know I can go online and buy it, but I just, maybe I should just shut up and buy it online. Because if I wait, because what's today, Wednesday? I probably wouldn't get it till next week. Here's the thing. Now it's now I'll go to Target and I'll buy some Topps Archives, and then it won't come to me until next Wednesday, and there'll be a whole batch of them on the shelves tomorrow or Friday. Topps Archives. 2020, there it is, $25. There you go. So it's on Topps, or it's on Target. Hey, speaking of Topps, Bowman Draft pre-sale was live yesterday for a cool $480 for Bowman Draft, which is only a slight increase over last year. I think last year was $450 for a hobby box. I did not buy any last year. I know I bought some either last year or the year before, but I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2021 is when I bought 2 or 3 boxes. Didn't buy any last year. I bought a bunch of paper base in 2022, like 12 cases worth. I'll probably do the same again. People are like, it's chasing people. Here's the thing about Bowman Draft. There's enough gamblers. It's a gambling product. $480 for a hobby box. I think you get 3 or 5 autographs. And some of them might be $20 autographs. So, what if you get a dud box and you get $75 worth of autographs? Well, you just pissed away 480. So, but people are still buying it. It's not like there's still demand. There's not demand from me and you, but there's demand from breakers and there's demand from the degenerate gamblers who will piss away thousands of dollars on new product at $480 a box. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'll probably, instead of getting mad and like going to social media and typing, "I'm mad, fanatics, you're ruining the hobby." Just deal with it. It's not your right to afford every product that's out there. It sucks sometimes. I love Bowman. When Bowman gets, I'm it upsets me, but I'm not going to I'm not going to let it affect me and how I feel about the hobby. Good on Topps. Remember, Topps is a business. They're not here to baby us. Yes, it's our hobby, but it's not theirs. Hobbies cost money. When things cost money, that equals it's a business. And hey, if they're making money, good for them. It's America, capitalism. There's enough people, $480 a box. I think they sold out within an hour yesterday. It's a ridiculous price, but people are paying it. And as long as people are paying it, that's the price. And it's probably going to go up. They're just going to, let's test. Okay. Next year, it's going to be $525 for a hobby box. And if people keep buying it, they're going to keep, just going to keep going up. So I know to some people, myself included, opening boxes is fun. So you have a decision to make. Nobody's forcing you to spend $480 on a hobby box. You have the choice to either spend $480 on a hobby box or skip it. Find something else. It's no longer within your means to buy that box. So if you're a team collector, you can buy into breaks. That's what I do. And I love it. Sometimes it's like, well, I probably didn't get my $100 worth. Sometimes I get well over $100 worth. It's just like opening a hobby box. You can buy singles. I don't like, well, why don't you buy singles? Well, because sometimes the singles are a lot more than I want to pay. If I get into a break, $100, if I wanted the single, it might be a $400 card. I could get that $400 card in a break. Might not. I might get $50 worth of cards for $100. I might get $20. So that's the way it goes. But I love breaks. As a team collector, I love breaks. Kind of got off on a tangent there, but Bowman Draft was released yesterday. Is anybody talking about Bowman Draft? Where are we at? Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, Dave! I'm going to see Dave this Saturday. He's the MC, DJ Dave Arnold. Club 400 trivia. Hey, if you're in the Crystal Lake, Illinois area, come out and see us Saturday night. Go to Club 400's website. I think it's cubsclub400.com. Just type it in Google, Club 400 Cubs. We've got a music trivia event this Saturday night, Crystal Lake. It's the Holiday Inn. Is that right? Holiday Inn. I think it's the Holiday Inn. I still have to book my room. Holiday Inn this Saturday night, Crystal Lake, Illinois. Club 400 music trivia. DJ Dave Arnold running the show. Direct from BPC, Bushnell, Prairie City. DJ Dave Arnold in the house. And I'll be there. I'm on Team Crawley. Team Crawley. I think we got a winning team. We'll be at Club 400 music trivia this Saturday night. Hey, if you can't make the trivia event, maybe I'll see you in Rosemont. I'll be at the Donald Stevens Convention Center this Saturday. You can find me digging through bargain boxes. That's where I'll be at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Let's see. Where are we at? We're going to talk about blocks today. I just want to see if anybody mentioned Cooter says, in my opinion, hobby boxes are no different than scratch-off cards. I mean, skill games. I agree with that. I do agree with that. And here's the thing. Like, here's the difference for me in my mind, because I don't play skill games and I don't play scratch-offs. Because if I spend $10 on scratch-offs and don't win anything, I have nothing to show for it. I have nothing to show for it except more trash. By the way, if your day is trash day, get it out to the curb. Today's Wednesday. Get your trash to the curb. It's recycling here too, big day. I agree with that. But the difference is if I buy a hobby box, I enjoy opening hobby boxes. I've been through this before. I enjoy opening hobby boxes. So I put a value to the actual exercise of opening a hobby box. That's entertainment value. And if I spend $100 on a hobby box, I'm not spending $480. If I spend $100 on a hobby box, I might not get $100 worth of cards, but I have something to show for it. I have something to show for it. So that's my thought. Cooter says you can buy a complete 74 top set for less than $480. So in some instances, I would rather buy a hobby box than a vintage card or cards or set or lot. In this case, I'd probably rather have the 74 top set. If you put a 74 top set valued at say $440 in a Bowman Draft box, retail value $480, you've got to pick. I'm going 74 tops. I'm going 74 top set. Now, there's other instances. If you put a $100 box of, I don't know, Topps Archives or whatever, name your product, and a couple vintage cards valued at $100, I'm probably taking the box because I enjoy, it's entertainment for me. So there's value in that. If I buy singles, there's no entertainment in that. Like, oh, I have these two cards. They're nice. And I put them in a box. And then I forget about them until I go log cards on Trading Card Database. Oh, I forgot I had that card. I list it or log it, enter it on Trading Card Database. And guess what I do? I put it back in the box. Unless it's a really nice card, then I put it in my top 40 case up there. All right. All right. Where are we at? I'm going to get back to the top. I just want to kind of see, because sometimes what happens is I get on a soapbox and everybody else talks about it. And then it's 20 minutes later and then I'm commenting. It's like, oh yeah, we already went there. Let's see. Flawed Thinker, we're talking about breaks. The only reason I get into breaks is because I find it cheaper than buying a box. Yes, I can spend $100 on a break spot in a break worth $2,500 in products. I feel like my chances are greater to pull big. Absolutely. And usually I'm only like, I never buy into random breaks because I don't like, then it's a true gamble. At least when I'm buying into Cubs breaks, like I'm getting Cubs cards. I make sure I'm getting Cubs cards. If there's a chance that I don't get any Cubs cards, I don't buy into that break. All cards ship. So I might just get a couple team sets. $100, a couple team sets. Yeah, I could have went to eBay. But there's been other times where I pull a $300 card and I spent $50 on the break. Let's see. James says nothing like getting a jumbo of Bowman Draft and pulling pitcher autos. Wah, wah. And I think there's more pitchers than hitters in Bowman Draft 2023 based on the checklist. The checklist is out, by the way. And like some people say, well, what's the big names? Like I follow baseball pretty closely, especially the minor leagues and in the draft. And I forget. Like, well, the draft was like 6 months ago. I forgot who. I know Matt Shaw from the Cubs. He is on the checklist. Paul Skeens, by the way, is let's see. I think there's 3 top 10 picks that did not make the checklist, which is pretty average because they want to hold some back for 2024 Bowman. So who did they hold back? I can't remember, but they held back like the number 2 pick, which they typically do to basically headline the 2024 Bowman. Okay, now let's skip back to the top. Victor's in the house. Good morning, Victor. Herman, what's up? Herman, long time. Good morning, Herman. Dan is here. What's up, Dan? Good day to you, Brian. What's up? Carlo is in the house. Good morning. Shane says, wasn't here yesterday. Go Broncos. What a dub. Hey, that's good. I didn't realize the Broncos won. That's good because the Bears are competing with the Broncos for a higher draft pick. Not sure what the current draft order. There's a lot of teams. Bears are a 3-win team. There's a lot of teams right in there. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. What's up? Good morning. Dan just blocked another sex bot on Twitter. Man, sex bots are all over Twitter now. Elon Musk has opened the gates of sex bots. Bill Simus, what's up? Good morning. Shaw Cards in the house. Good morning to you. Red Light 34 is here. He says, hit the like button. Thank you, sir. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. Let's run that banner. 99centcards.com. You can also find it. Link in the description. Billy Joe's here. Good morning. Thanks, Bo and Chad, for the help a week or so ago regarding variations. Hey, you betcha. You betcha. Andy Mack, what's up? Good morning. Value Box Digger. I don't want to see other block lists because I also don't know both sides of the story. Exactly. Like everything, there's always 2 sides. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's true. There can be bad sellers. Absolutely 100%. I don't like sharing block lists because I have no idea. You may, if somebody sends, and I know some people block based on, well, they lowballed me. But what's lowball? Did they send you a $1 offer on a $1.50 card or a $2 card? That's not a lowball. If they sent you a $1 offer on a $100 card, I would consider that lowball, or even $20 card. I wouldn't block over that. I would just decline. I would do the old dirty decline. Some people block on it. That's a quick trigger in my opinion. So if you share block, I want to see, and I have blocked eBay buyers without having done any communication with them or deals with them based on social media. I have put people on my block list. Here's why. Somebody says, put this person on your block list, and they show proof of why they blocked. And then it's up to you to make that decision. Should I put them on my block list? And in some cases, I'm like, yep, okay, they're buying low dollar cards. I've got a lot of inventory in my eBay store of low dollar cards. They very well could be shopping my eBay store. I don't want them shopping in my eBay store. Block based on what I saw in the messages. They're just not a person I want to do business with. I don't need their $1.75. So I will block. But yes, there is always 2 sides of the story. There's posts on blowout forums. People like share their block list, and some are like 300, 400 names. And it's like, but do you, like, I've gone through my block, and there's a conversation in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group about blocks. And I went through because I wanted to see, because I'm like, I've done 100,000 transactions and I've got a fairly lengthy list. I'm like, I wonder how many. So I went and counted. I have 86. And most of them, I can't remember why I blocked them. I'm sure there's a good reason. And, I can go through my block list, and there's some that it's like, oh, I know exactly why I blocked them. And there's some it's like, I kind of remember, but not sure. So I don't feel comfortable sharing my block list if I don't even know why they're on my block list to begin with. Donald, good morning. Andy Mack is with Value Box Digger. I've never seen a seller post a negative feedback and say, I really earned this one. I'm a careless shipper. Mark Marinello, good morning. Good morning, Flawed Thinker. Dan received a Burley Lee purchases from my friend in U.S. 46 PSA Lee slabs for the PC that I'll do multiple videos on, as well as a video for the Burley pickups. Very cool. Let's see. We hit that one. T206 Kid says it's like Disney World. Everyone complains about ticket prices, but the parks are always packed. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Max says, I have my opinions, but I will keep them to myself on this one. Bill's going to be in Rosemont. Value Box Digger says, I'm building the 74 set. It's more fun that way. And that's there's truth in that. So do you have a 74 top set? Or you have a box of cards. What are you going to, well, I don't want a set. Like if you're a set builder, the fun is in building the set, not just buying the set. It's fun. The fun for some set, but some people just want, and that's cool. There's no wrong way to build a set. Some people just choose to build it. Some would rather just get it over with. I need this set. I'm just going to go to Target and buy the complete set. Let's see. Where are we at? We talked about that one. Johnny M says ripping high-end wax is a hobby for me. Probably ripping 2016 National Treasures football case today. Will most likely lose 50% or more, but I like the thrill of the rip. I don't drink, smoke, or do drugs. This is my high. There you go. And if it's within your means and you enjoy it, who are we to judge, right? That's like one of my biggest pet peeves is you should buy singles. Well, I don't want to buy singles. I don't like buying singles. I mean, I do. But in these instances, I'd rather buy a box. Like, that's just what I like. That's just what I like. If I was looking for the value, like Johnny already knows, he's probably going to lose 50% of his value. Well, why don't you buy singles? Because he doesn't want to. He gets a thrill out of opening. He has the means to rip that case. He has no other vices. Rip away. Rip away, my friend. It's the thrill of the rip. Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of fun in ripping wax to me. And I know others don't like it, but don't tell others to buy singles when that's not what they want to do. It's within my means. If I chose to buy this case. Now, some of this was, you know, I'm going to flip it. The Kosuke Fukudome is going in my personal collection. Everything else, it's like it's a cheap break. I'll probably be able to recoup, but there's also some fun in ripping the wax. At the same time, as a business, I'm not going out and spending all kinds of money at Blowout because I want to rip a bunch of wax. You have to do it within your means. You know, I bought a case to stash. I bought a couple cases to rip. This one was like $600, and then I've got a Pro Set case for $300 coming in. And I'm going to enjoy it. That's about all I'm going to do, depending on what other sales they have coming up. Let's see. Flawed Thinker says, if I don't pull a big, then I can still at least make some money back selling what I don't want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, we talked about the pitcher autos. Hate when that happens. Max Clark. Yep, Max Clark is a big name. Matt Shaw, Walker Jenkins, but I can't remember who, because there were 3 names that didn't make the checklist. And I can't remember if Walker Jenkins, that's like a country name right there. Walker Jenkins. Live on the main stage, it's Walker Jenkins. Let's see. Flawed Thinker says, the first ever break I got into was a few years ago. I paid $8 for the Blue Jays Last Team Mojo and pulled a Vlad Jr. auto of 25. Ended up selling it for $400, was hooked ever since. So there's one story. This is a story. This is not like Flawed Thinker's story. This is on the other side. It's not a skunk either. This Real Breaks. This is like one of Real Breaks' first breaks when they were on Facebook. They started on Facebook. They actually, Tom and Ryan were the breakers for a big hobby Facebook. Keep It Real. That's where they started on Keep It Real back in like August or September of 2015, I think, is when they got their start. And so I started breaking with Tom and found out he lived just down the road. At that point, he lived in Fort Atkinson, which is closer than where he is now in Waupun. And we became, well, and then all of a sudden we found out I knew his dad. I interviewed his dad on the radio every Wednesday morning back in Monmouth, Illinois. And it's like, because he's got a unique last name. I'm like, do you know Al? He's like, yeah, Al's my dad. I'm like, holy shit. And so Tom and he sets up at the Madison Card Show. I go up there. He went up, sat in on some breaks of his. Anyway, one of their first breaks before we became friends, I think it was the second break I ever bought into. And it was one of those high-end, it was National Treasures or Flawless, something like that. And I had the Royals. It was a random. This was before my Cubs project. So I was in a random break. And my team was the Royals. And I think it was tier 1. I think it was Topps tier 1, actually. And I pulled like some serial number, like Salvador Perez and Alex Gordon. And I think my buy-in was like $30. It was super cheap. I mean, and you're like, wow, what, tier 1 for $30 for a break? Yeah. So I got a couple decent cards, probably didn't really on those singles, didn't really get my money back. But it was fun. And then boom, out of one of a giant pack, it's one of those Deca booklets. And it's got Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Mike frickin' Trout, autos on a Deca auto booklet. I think what's Deca, 10? So in this particular break, it went into a random based on who had the teams. So I think there were 2 Cubs in there. And I think whoever had the Cubs also had another team. So this guy got like 3 or 4 chances at the random. Alex Gordon was on there. So I got one chance. I got one chance at the random. I'm trying to sell. I'm playing the numbers. And this is my rationale. This is my rationale. I have a 10% chance of winning this random. I've got $30 into this break or whatever the cost was. It was super cheap. Because even on my singles, I almost broke even. So you run the numbers. Okay. Running the random. I've got a 10% chance of winning this booklet. If I can sell it for $200, I have a 100% chance of making a profit on this, right? So I was trying to sell it. It was valued at like around $2,000, which is back in 2015 for a card. Holy shit. I was trying to get $250 out of it. Nobody was biting. It's like, it's a $2,000 card. Divided by 10, that's 200. So finally, at like the last second, I was able to sell my spot for $200. So, hey, I paid $30 for this break. I got some cards and I got $200. So I'm up 170 plus some cards that I probably sold for, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks. Guess which team won the random? The Kansas City Royals. So I'm like, I messaged Tom the next day or whatever. I'm like, I cannot believe. And he's like, here's the thing. If you wouldn't have sold it, just the way the world works. You probably, but I was happy. And he's like, to be honest with you, if I was in your situation, I would have done the same thing. Yeah, it's easy. Profit is profit. It's like, yeah, the what ifs. But there was only a 10% chance of that happening. I made money. There was a 100% chance of money to profit if I sold that spot. You run the numbers. You play the numbers. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. But even a loss in that situation, I still won, right? Still made profit. Shane says the Broncos are not chasing the first pick. We're making a playoff run for okay. We'll keep winning. I need less competition for that, for draft positioning. Good morning, Talking Tatis. What's happening? Flipping Sports Guy says Elon and sex bots. Wonder if he created those to get his seed money in his quest to take over the world, right? Mark Marinello, I open a 1976 cello and wax pack every spring. Brings me back memories to when I was 8. Lots of commons, but even more memories. Absolutely. Fun stuff. Johnny says, just had a guy offer $2.50 on a $40 item. I would consider that a low ball. It sold the next day for, isn't that like, that is like instant gratification. Somebody sends you a low ball offer and it's like, dude, come on. And then it sells for full price. What's really enjoyable is when that person that lowballs you and then it sells to somebody else and then they message you like the next day and they're like, hey, did that sell? And I'm like, yep, sold for full price. Nana boo boo. I've got less than 10 on my block list. For me, it's a waste of time unless they're a complete jackass. So I'm going to talk about why I have people on my block list. Some of them I can't remember, but some I can remember, and there's a very good reason they're on my block list. Value Box Digger says, most of our block lists are no top loader, didn't use top loader. Now that you mention it, I think there are a few. If somebody leaves me a negative feedback for something stupid, they go on my block list. Like if somebody leaves me like Value Box Digger, I send in card savers. And if they leave me a negative feedback for top loaders, I'm not changing the way I ship. Card savers, in my opinion, are better than top loaders. Yes, I know top loaders are fine, but I like card savers. If somebody's going to send me a negative feedback over that, I'm not going to change the way I ship over $1.50 transaction. If all of a sudden it's, hundreds of people are complaining, then you have to, but one every 20,000, you just go on the block list. Wesley Collects Cards is live from Boone, North Carolina, home of Appalachian State. Is that where App State is? Appy State? Appalachian State? Is it Appalachian or Appalachian? I think I'm getting the correct university in Boone, North Carolina. My Topps Chrome update hobby boxes come today. I'm excited. Very nice. Did you get this year's product or last year's product? Brian Bourne, what's up? Good morning. Victor's in the house. I don't think blocking is overall effective because bad actors typically have multiple accounts. That's something else I'm going to get into. I'm going to talk about that as well. Tracy, good morning. Finally back watching live. Big basketball tournament this weekend. We host 16 teams to start the season. The old turkey tournaments. Is that what in Illinois, we had turkey tournaments, Thanksgiving tournaments. I didn't watch any hoops last night, and I forgot the Badgers were on, and they played an early game against Providence. And is Providence good? Who's a college basketball? Is Providence good? Because they beat Wisconsin by like 20, and the Badgers are supposed to be decent this year. Which it's like, ooh, hey, if Providence smokes them, maybe my Western Illinois Leathernecks have a chance in a couple of weeks. Did not watch. I saw the score. There was only like 2 minutes left, and they were down like 21. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna watch this. Shane to Mark, I wish I could open my childhood packs for fun. Sadly, the stuff I opened is now way too expensive. Oh, okay. I'm thinking Skybox Metal Universe in the 90s favorite set as a kid. Yeah. And then I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I grew up in between Mark and Shane, and the stuff I opened, I can get for like a dime a pack. You can 89 tops and 90 tops, what I opened when I was a kid, my nostalgia is super cheap. Low Roller Scratcher, his skill games have officially been banned. Wah, wah. But he's getting a haircut, so win-win. Appy State, Boone, North Carolina. Evil government doesn't let me play skill games with tax-free. Collector's dream in the house. So I want to go back to, whose chat was it? Let's see. Flipping Sports. Okay, there's a couple that I want to touch on. So Flipping Sports Guy, he's got a low-numbered block list. And then I think Victor said something about multiple accounts. Yes. So I have a block list, 86 on my block list. Now remember, my account, I've done 100,000 transactions. So 86 divided by 10,000, pretty low. I just got an offer for Yoshida. Ooh, hey, I'll take this. So I just sold a Yoshida base chrome from NPB for $7. Moose Knuckle. I'll accept your offer. All right. So let's go to my block list. Oh, shit. See, I should have been prepared. Okay, block list. By the way, this topic was came from the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. So if you're not on the Hobby Evolution Facebook page, check it out. Type in Hobby Evolution on Facebook, block buyer. And so there's just some discussion on blocking buyers. So I can go through and like the first three, I have no idea why they're on my block list. I can probably go in and find out why. But there's some that it's like, oh, yep, I know why they're on. DD Angelmi -0. That's the guy that opened a return on a, I think it was it was the Yadier Molina rookie. And he sent me back some like common Luis Patino rookie card. And then he left me negative feedback, said he was going to sue me and I was going to go to jail and all this stuff. So he's just a whack job. So he's definitely a deserved block. Let's see. Gotham City Sports Cards. This was a guy, and I dealt with him, but I know a lot of other people dealt with him. And I can't remember what that was about. It's funny, I have Honest John on my block list. I don't know why I have Honest John on my block list. It says he's honest in his name. JJ Jackson, he left me like 6 neutrals or negatives for no top load, for sending in a card saver instead of a top loader. So that was like, I'm not dealing with that. John Koporowski, and where Victor mentioned some of the bad actors. So John Koporowski was notorious. This is pre-standard envelope days. This guy was notorious for buying cheap cards that were sent PWE, and then he would claim he never got them. And I wrote a blog about it. And if you type in his name, JOH Koporowsk _0, and he made multiple. And I've sold stuff to him since, and I haven't had any issues since standard envelope. I haven't had any issues. But I've got 2 or 3 of his alter egos on my block list, but he still bought some cards, and I'm like, I'll take a chance. I've got standard envelope now, and I've got the insurance. So sometimes they find a way around it, and hey, I'll take his money as long as he's not going to be a jackass. Let's see who else. Lou Mart. That was somebody that I put on my block list just yesterday. So what happened was, he opened a return, because he ordered it by mistake. He also accepted my offer. And then after I shipped it and he received it, he said he ordered it by mistake. I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm going to look this guy up. He's done it multiple times. He will buy a card, receive it, and then open a claim. And he's trying to get free cards. So I'm like, you know what? We're not dealing with this jackass anymore. So he's on the block list. Who else? So usually they are legit reasons that I put them on the block list. And I understand some people, and there's some instances where, I don't, if somebody leaves me a negative feedback, I don't just automatically block them. If it's like, I'm just going to block them just to avoid any future. Like if they're going to leave a negative feedback about shipping in a card saver as opposed to a top loader, like that's how I ship. So if they forget and order something, I don't want another feedback from them, another negative feedback from them. So they just go on the block list, and not all the time. I don't always. But let's see. I think I added somebody else to my, there was another person that I can't remember the username, but they left me a negative feedback. And I talked about this last week. They left me a negative feedback because they said the item was too expensive. It was $1.60, and I sent them an offer. It was $1.75, and I sent them an offer for $1.60. They accepted the offer and then left me a negative feedback saying it was too expensive. That was removed. eBay did remove that because that guy or girl did that multiple times. I went to his feedback profile and there were multiple mentions of that. I'm not dealing with that jackassery. So he made the list. This one I did put on the block list. BR84731. He left me a negative feedback, said has not shipped on time, should ship the next day. That's not my terms of service. My terms are 3 days, 3 business days. For some reason, eBay did not remove that. I'm not sure why they did not remove it because I did ship it like within 2 days or whatever it was. So he made the block list. So those are just some examples. If somebody sends me, typically I don't block over lowball offers. I don't think I blocked anybody over lowball offers, even if they are truly lowball. And I think that's subjective. Like, what is a lowball offer? You know, sometimes if somebody sends me $1 on a dollar offer on a $5 card, like it's lowball, but it's not egregious, right? If somebody sends me $1 offer on a $100 card, it's like, don't be a jackass. Like, certainly a lowball. I'm still not going to block over that unless they're like a super jackass about it. I'm not going to block. But my block list is typically mostly made up of people that, you know, have purchased a card and then have been a dumbass about it. Let's see. Andy Mack says Deshaun Watson is out for the season. Poor Browns. Ouch. Ouch. David says Providence College is pretty good. New head coach, but some returning starters. Well, they handled Wisconsin last night. Pretty good. Mark says to Shane, I save a few bucks a month to afford them. They ain't cheap. The old moose knuckle. AA cards. What's up? Good morning. Shane says Providence is one of those teams that makes it to the tournament and nobody wants to play them because they're one of those schools that likes to create upsets. Providence. Did Providence have God Shamgod? Was that? I think he was a Providence friar. God Shamgod. So that's my block party segment. So there was a discussion in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. Check it out. Facebook Hobby Evolution. And that's why I don't like, because, you know, some people block over low ball. They have, you know, 100 names, 300 names, 500 names on their block list, and it's over low ball offers, but I don't know what their idea of a low ball offer is, and that doesn't make them a bad buyer. So I just kind of, you know, if I have an issue with somebody or they leave negative feedback and it's like, I'm not going to change the way, you know, my handling time isn't going to change because you want your $1.50 Omar Vizquel card the next day. I'm sorry. We're just not compatible as business partners in this transaction. If all of a sudden many people want me to be Amazon and ship the next day, then, but for now, 3-day handling time, and it works. So there you go. Let's see. Tracy says, ordered a card on November 4th. Shows delivered Monday in Columbia. Today tracking says delivered with my zip, was just a $10 card, but a parallel I've been looking for 3 years. So here's the thing. Okay. So don't worry about when it was shipped or ordered. It showed delivered in Monday. Today's only Wednesday. Today's tracking says delivered with your zip. Have you received the mail? If you have not received the mail, it's probably going to show up today. If not today, tomorrow. If it doesn't show up with tomorrow's mail, then I would reach out to the seller. But it's likely if you have not received today's mail and tracking says delivered with your zip code, it's likely going to show up today. At the worst, probably tomorrow. But if it doesn't show up tomorrow, then reach out to the seller. And there you go. Let's see. I blocked one person over lowball offers. They offered me $1 on multiple cards, around $5, counted on all of them, and he reoffered $1.25. Yeah, that's just like, stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. David, yes. God, Sham God, Providence. I don't want to waste time re-offering someone who's not going to be reasonable. You're not going to get $20 to $30 worth of cards for $5 to $6. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just an annoyance. That's just annoyance. And I think everybody treats it differently. I think everybody would treat, various situations differently. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Today's Wednesday. It's trash day. So tomorrow's Thursday. Friday, we'll do the free-for-all. We'll play Name That Player. No show on Saturday. No show on Sunday. I'll be in Rosemont Saturday. Well, at this time, I'll be en route to Rosemont, the Donald Stevens Convention Center. I'll be digging through bargain boxes Saturday at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. So I'll be there on Saturday, and then Saturday night, little music trivia, Club 400. And so I won't be on Sunday morning either. Monday morning, we can do a little show review, a little Chicago Sports Spectacular / Club 400 music trivia review next Monday morning. Is next week? Oh, no. Holy shit. Is next week Thanksgiving? What? Holy shit. Next week is Thanksgiving. Wow. We've got visitors. I've got a lot of shit to clean up and get ready. Got to get a haircut. Probably should shave. Thanksgiving. Holy shit. That means next week is the Madison Card Show. Oh shit. I've got to get the ad up. I've got to confirm. Oh boy. It kind of snuck up on me. November. Where'd you go? Already the 15th. All right. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Also, link in the description. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price, and you'll save 25% off at checkout. So with that, I'm out. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.